Attention gamers. In case we haven't met, my name is Rav.
They ask how I rap like I'm the baby. Your girl in my DMs and she going crazy. She asked to come over, I'm telling her maybe. I'm busy, I'm chasing the check. 150 I spent on my neck, but no really that's nothing compared to my jet. You're looking silly cause you're in your feelings, but really old Rabby's up next. I see you hunting for scraps and you're looking at me like I'm finna be next. I tell you my trigger's a feather, so walk up, I'll gently put one in your chest.
And despite the highly cherry-picked montage of good plays that I very rarely make, I am a hard-stuck pleb, one of the lay people on the Rift, and over the last year and a half I have built a small community around the relatability of ELO hell and the shit that occurs down in that wasteland. But as many of you know, as a TTS content creator who runs a largely uncensored style of commentary, I've run into certain issues. So as of today some things are changing. Now, to kill any suspense before you all start seeping sadness sperms out of your blue bald flaccid pork swords, I am not fully leaving YouTube, and the 2 videos I release a week on that platform will continue. But I am happy to announce that I will be joining Facebook Gaming today, where everything you see on YouTube will also be released, in addition to a giant collection of daily content featuring more raw uncensored TTS videos, human Rav like my climbing series, potentially some Rav and highs for the good old times, and much more. So if it's not your cup of tea, cool, but if you do have a Facebook profile, please check out my new profile at facebook.com/gaming/ravloltv. It's completely free to follow and I will be working hard to entertain the people that do. So if you are new to the channel and want a taste of not only the shenanigans you get from me live,
I'm coming for that ass now.
but also the TTS commentary I have built my brand around, or you just want a throwback of the good old Rav days, here is a small compilation of some of my favorite moments over the last 2 years making League content. Then the floating static shitter orders the biggest cupcake on the menu from Ivern, but then refuses to pay for it, so I carrier pigeon myself through the mountains to make sure he knows we won't tolerate dining and dashing. But my work isn't done, so I call an Uber and demand that it take me to the nearest useless piece of shit, and sure enough its GPS takes me right to Caitlin as I slap a fat pelican punch on the Brit. I would like to introduce a few sexy beasts to all of you. This is Becky and Samantha. They just babble all the time. Then there's Janice. She's on the quiet side, but you don't want to wake that bitch up. And last, we can't forget Big Mama Gertrude.
Run.
She doesn't come out a lot, but when she does, she wants cake. The game starts with Ricky the Reaper planting little explosive M&Ms under my Rudolph the Red-Nosed turret-hugging ass until my jungler decides to take her roided-up guinea pig for a walk by riding it in for a gank. She pulls its tail to charge at Ricky, forcing the flash out of that floating freak. Then I puke on the archer and steal one of her boogers. I let her tickle the scarecrow a few times before healing his ass at the last second to defend my title of the masturbator before we take home first blood. We retreat to get away from the mob of pissed off hooded midgets as Fiddle does a whop and Peggy and her pet Poro start backing in the bush. But this caterpillar sees right through the pathetic attempt of the floating wheat farmer to intimidate me, but I know that M&Ms cost mana and he has none, so I charge in to take him down. Then I kite away from the time-traveling teenager and steal some mucus from that mohawk before puking on his shoes to send him away. My top laner locks in Varus. Dope. My ADC has the intelligence of a plastic fork, why wouldn't she? Their Yasuo is an M7 spamming wind shitter, like they all are. I am starting to worry that I have seriously insulted plastic forks earlier. Turns out while I didn't see my mini-map, my support didn't see anything on his monitor, resulting in a balls-deep scarecrow and leaving me to deal with Tucker time tits myself. I go hyperbolemic, sending him running as the giant gerbil comes back to tell Legolas's wife to piss off. Echo goes dashy dick on me, but I spit on him before he can take me down. Then Peggy's pet Poro wants to lick an ash hole, so they chase until she gets away. But I just got my ult and I am ready to go Rudolph the Red-Nosed Snot Rocket Reindeer on that hoe for the kill. I shoot an ult at topside Gronk because he asked me to wake him up, and then look away from Slitherslot's tits before she catches me peeping. I get caught off guard when Pyke flashes to hook me, but I slap him silly before dying to the snake's farts. Meanwhile I am still Jay chillin' like a villain bot lane as I steal a super wet boogie from Princess Jasmine and Seaweed Thresh lands a dope hook. I like it, so I put a ring on it, then slap a combo on the slut. I try to dose her with some banana potassium, but she dies to the burn wounds of Lantern Larry's ignite. I hit on the bitch a few times, but then when it comes time for me to zoom out to finish it and get lucky tonight, I get cock-blocked repetitively by Kate acting as the ugly best friend that is jealous that Thresh was about to get nailed tonight. We catch the horny goat and his hammer in the forest and I toss some feathers at the sped shitter. His grandfather's spirit gets summoned just in time to witness the heir of their sad bovine throne get shafted. The Galaxy Gal tries to ball bash me but I am Jero Juke Feather and I counter with a snot slurp. I dance around her horribly aimed skill shots before doing a ring flashy fling of a fizzle thing for the kill as Karthus tries to drench me to death but I purchased the waterproof Nikes in the shop so it barely affects me. Another quick update and it looks like the speedy hamster is about to get his first kill but it turns out he forgot to read the patch notes from October 2010 when Riot added turrets into the game and falls victim to not understanding what they do. They burn summoners as I proceed to practically aimbot this shit with over 120 ping before retreating to the bushes to order a giant translucent banana to be delivered to the archer in the purple cage. Blitz runs down to pull Kindred as she heals to make sure she's sanitized before that handshake, then I flop a fat ween's worth of damage down and Blitz's lightning hiccup passive steals the kill. Blitz eagerly wants to introduce us to Mordekaiser so he calls him over. I wait for my cooldowns in the back wondering why my team isn't doing any damage before I ult the Ghost Shepherd and tell her to meet me over in the bush. She agrees and then I say psych you a dead bitch now as my team finishes their morning practice of synchronized dying. Then I kite away from mouth-breathing Mohawk before I show him what a time-traveling titty twister feels like. At this point I have a single item and boots and I am thinking I will just take a chunk out of the knee nibbler so I put a ring on him and then shoot off and ult for shits and gigs until the banana straight up one-shots the furry chode. But I am not done yet and I see Obama's wife looking fine as hell next to that statue so I ask my pike to give her my number and when he does, I send her a pic so dirty that it ruins her career. The enemy team domesticated a scuttle crab and took him to his first strip club and the sight of titties had unexpected effects on him. And now it's on me to stop the giant raging hormonal crab from destroying our base so I skillfully run straight into a hook forcing my flash but bladed Barney comes to the rescue with a spiky trampoline to help put the golden grappler in the garbage. Then I see Chester the Jester deep in a standoff with Tucker and his spectral replica that he bosses around so I snipe some zombie hands to tie him up in the weeds. Then rather than retreating, the false confidence he has from his ability to time travel turns him into a total moron and we reap the benefits of the dumbass being on the other team in this one. 2 Chainz says screw that Imouti and then I come down to see that bathwater diva floating her way up so we hit her with some pink strobe lights to film her next music video called Too Many Bubble Gums Up My Butt and then I command a quick sky glitter shitter to send Cosmic Bowling Alley Lucian running. A few minutes later and I am just being a peeping Tom in the bushes looking at those thick thighs and wondering if a bony bag of straw like me would ever have a chance and then I make my move. I casually poured out of the bushes telling her a scary story as an icebreaker and I think our first date went pretty well. A minute later and my gothic prom queen of a support is contributing by letting the bad guys edge with her life before tying them up and letting me launch little static electric fizzle tizzlers up their cooters forcing them to retreat. But I learned from college never to chase 2 scantily clad women into the bushes so I take it slow letting Manbear Pig take this one home as he chases them through the cove and I lead a bursty boy call me Tom freaking Brady with a Q to the B to take the kill as that sparkly ashhole gets away. The albino gun fetish slut is mispositioned and her clock is playing 3 zip codes back so I dish a dove at the hoe and tell her a spooky story. Draven enters the fight just in time to get hit by every single skill shot that they have while not understanding how to disengage from a fight and continues waving his micropenis around so I throw my hands up and summon the crows to circle these sluts. I poured in and set a match to the blue hair before I finish crow banging them both to sleep. I get back to lane and I see Obama's wife filming a scene for a film called 2 Clowns 1 Albino and I go up to meet the cast. I am pretty ahead at this point so I skillfully activate my ult and then roll my kneecaps over my right click button until everyone is dead. The game ends in a surrender and my team still fighting with each other because players in my elo have to win both their games and their arguments in order to have fun but tanky twinkle shit still represented on the meters that game. I am a bard's fart away from death but I make the intelligent decision to greed for a last hit on this cannon minion that I end up missing anyways just in time for the samurai shitter to come sprinting in. I hop back as he gets stunned in tower and then I send him away with a quick ace up the 8-eyed a-hole. Then with the reflexes of a viper, Shen ults me 3 days after the fight is over. I tell Morg that as long as Lux doesn't see, I am down to meet in the bush and spit in each other's mouths so I do just that to test if I can one combo the bride for shits and gigs. 4 of them are trying to siege the base when the scarecrow shows them why social distancing should be taken seriously as they run and our mid laner ports her magical muff onto the group for a triple. Then the Chippendale runs off and puts up a good fight by Falcon punching the wrong direction before being taken down. Baby Einstein seems to be all alone in a bad neighborhood, so I fire an ultimate to port him back to the safety of his own base. They all start running away from me until Echo travels back in time to when he was mispositioned as the birthday party starts, but I didn't get an invite, so I retaliate by dropping nutsack chompers on the ground, and then I give the excluding Scarecrow a piece of my mind before I shift my attention and beat up his burnt BFF out of jealousy. Then I see Maurice and his dumb mohawk trying to flee, so I long range reveal the bitch and we start chasing. The hobbling sack of hay is chasing me down, trying to stick his colorful pinwheel up my albino asshole, but I put on a brave face and scare him off. Then the idiot that's been counting out loud all game heals the two of them, giving him the confidence to rainbow suck me, but my kitty keeps me healthy and channels some gold beams to put them to sleep as I let the duo die in each other's pathetic pixie stick channeling arms. We zoom around and attempt to make sure that there will never be a Jarvan V, but he goes flagpole pussy status to safety before Pyke demands I immediately play leapfrog with him, so I tell him that he can't always have all the attention. Thanks for all the tremendous support over the first 2 years, and here's to making the next 2 even better. Rav out.